Hello everyone and welcome back to another anatomy video. This is Dr. Ian from the Veterinary Anatomy channel. Today we will talk about the caudal muscles of the crus, including the extensors of the tarsus and flexors of the digits. So let's get started. The caudal muscles of the crus in the dog includes the extensors of the tarsus and flexors of the digits. The extensors of the tarsus, here we're talking about the gastrocnemius muscle, while the flexors of the digits include the superficial digital flexor muscle or SDF, the deep digital flexor muscle or DDF, which have three heads: the lateral digital flexor muscle, the medial digital flexor muscle, and the caudal tibial muscle. And now let's move and talk about the muscles found in the caudal group. So this is a lateral view where we can see the craniolateral group, and so this is the caudal view of the hind limb where we can see the two heads of the gastrocnemius muscle. So we will talk about the gastrocnemius muscle a little bit later. So let's move to the medial view here, because I would like to start with this muscle here. Let me just put it this way. This is the popliteus muscle. The popliteus muscle originates from the popliteal fossa, that fossa which we can see on the lateral condyle of the femur bone, this area here. This is the popliteal fossa. And this popliteal muscle moves, the tendon of it moves caudally and inserts to the proximal medial surface of the tibia. So here we can see the insertion area of the popliteal muscle. The popliteal muscle is innervated by the tibial nerve. The tibial nerve, it's a branch from the sciatic nerve. We talked about it before. The tibial nerve moves between the two heads of the gastrocnemius, and here deeply it gives a lot of branches to all of the muscles in the caudal group. So the popliteus muscle is innervated by the tibial nerve. The function of this muscle is to rotate the lower leg, somehow medially this way. And at the same time, it's actually somehow a flexor of the knee joint. The next muscle which we would like to talk about now is this muscle which we can see in the caudal view, is the gastrocnemius muscle. The gastrocnemius muscle in general in all animals, including the dog of course, has two heads. The medial head, which we can see in the medial view, and the lateral head, which you can see in the lateral view. The two heads start or originate from the lateral and medial supracondylar tuberosities, and the two heads move together here to form finally just one tendon and inserts to the calcaneal tuberosity. This area here, and the two heads, they form finally this tendon called the Achilles tendon. So the Achilles tendon inserts to the tuber calcanei or calcaneal tuberosity here. The function of this muscle is, contraction of this muscle will extend the tarsal joint. Let me just try to do it for you. So it will extend the tarsal joint, as you can see here. Again, one more time, extend the tarsal joint. This muscle, the gastrocnemius muscle, is innervated by the tibial nerve, which we can see here, just between the two heads. So here at this level, it gives a lot of branches to both heads of the gastrocnemius muscle. Again, let me show you just the bone here next to it. The gastrocnemius muscle, the two heads originate from the lateral and medial supracondylar tuberosities. The tendon in the dog here moves over the two sesamoid bones, which we can find here, which are there actually to reduce the friction between the tendon of the gastrocnemius muscle and the condyles of the femur bone. And the insertion of this muscle is here on the tuber calcanei or the calcaneal tuberosity to form the Achilles tendon. Okay, now the next muscle which we are going to describe and talk about is the superficial digital flexor muscle, or known as SDF. Actually, in this case here, you will find the superficial digital flexor muscle located just between the two heads of the gastrocnemius muscle. So normally they are somehow like one muscle, but of course if you dissect them, you will find that the superficial digital flexor muscle from this side, let's go to this side here, it's located just, at the end here, it's located just between the two heads of the gastrocnemius muscle. So this is the medial head of the gastrocnemius muscle, and here we have the superficial digital flexor muscle. The superficial digital flexor muscle originate from the lateral supracondylar tuberosity, the lateral, so we have to follow the tendon there. We have, so it originates from the lateral supracondylar tuberosity. Let me show you the bone here. So lateral, this is the lateral surface, supracondylar tuberosity is from this area here. This is the origin of the superficial digital flexor muscle. The insertion of this muscle, if you follow the tendon here, let me just put this one like this. So this is the tendon of the superficial digital flexor muscle. Somehow it's also inserted to the tuber calcanei or calcaneal tuberosity, and finally, of course, it inserts to the middle phalanx of all digits. Middle phalanx of all digits, or P2. Caudal surface, of course, or plantar surface in this case. Here I would like just to tell you something, that at this level here you will find that the gastrocnemius muscle is located superficially comparing to the superficial digital flexor muscle, but at the same time the gastrocnemius muscle should insert to the calcaneal tuberosity, while the tendon of the SDF or superficial digital flexor muscle should move down up to the middle phalanx. So in this case here the two tendons of these two muscles will cross or each other like this. Look. So the tendon of the SDF moves from the deep here to the superficial and moves over the calcaneal tuberosity. So they cross each other. Let me just show you exactly what I mean here. They will cross each other here at this level. Okay? So here we can see how the tendon of the gastrocnemius muscle moves somehow here a little bit laterally and inserts finally just on the calcaneal tuberosity, while the tendon of the SDF moves down. It inserts somehow here to the calcaneal tuberosity. I cut this area here on the medial side. We can see that it's connected to the calcaneal tuberosity and moves down here. At this level here, just distal to the tarsal joint, the tendon of the superficial digital flexor muscle will be also divided, if it's clear for you here, and gives 4 tendons, one for each digit, and inserts on P2 of each digit. This is the 4 tendons of the superficial digital flexor muscle. This muscle, the SDF, is innervated by the tibial nerve also, and the function of this muscle is, of course, a flexor muscle of the digits. Let me just put it this way here and try to contract this muscle here. So it's a flexor muscle of the digits, and at the same time it's an extensor muscle of the tarsal joint, like this, SDF. The last muscle which we can find in this group here is the DDF, or the deep digital extensor muscle. The deep digital extensor muscle of the hind limb is also divided, or has three heads. The three heads called, if we go to the lateral view again, the first one, or the biggest one, is this one here, is the lateral digital flexor muscle. The lateral digital flexor muscle, the medial digital flexor muscle, this small muscle here, and finally I will show you later a small muscle called also the caudal tibial muscle. I will show you later. So let's start with the lateral digital flexor muscle. The lateral digital flexor muscle originates from the caudal tibia and fibula in this area here. So from the caudal fibula and tibia, this area here, and inserts, of course, with the other tendons of the DDF to the P3, the plantar surface of the B3. Plantar surface of P3 here. So this is the lateral digital flexor muscle. The second head of the DDF in this case is the medial digital flexor muscle, in this case medial. So that means we have to move to the medial surface. So if we move to the medial surface here, we can see this small muscle called the medial digital flexor muscle. This muscle originates from the caudo-medial tibia, so from the tibia there, and inserts, of course, with other tendons to the B3. I will tell you, of course, at the end that all three heads meet together at the level of the tarsal joint here to form one tendon. I will show you that later. One tendon which will be divided again and gives another four tendons for the digits. So here at this level, just under the superficial digital flexor muscle, we can see the tendon of the deep digital flexor muscle. So at this level here, we have just one tendon, gives four tendons to the digits. So, and before, of course, all three heads will meet together to form this tendon here. Now, let me just show you exactly the last muscle, the third head of the digital flexor muscle, which we can see just located on the caudal surface of the tibia. It's a very, very small or long muscle, but it's very thin muscle somehow. Here at this level, from here to there, we can see just the tendon. Just the tendon of this muscle is the caudal tibial muscle. Okay? And if you go up here, just under the popliteus muscle, you can find the muscular part of this muscle located in this area here, the caudal tibial muscle. So all heads of the DDF, or deep digital flexor muscle, again, they meet together at the level of the tarsal joint here in this area, and they form together the tendon of the DDF, or deep digital flexor muscle, which will be also divided here and gives four tendons, one to each digit. So again, here if you look at this area, so the tendon of both muscles, actually SDF and DDF, they will be divided at this level here and gives four tendons to one to each digit, and they insert, of course, the DDF inserts to the B3 of all digits, and SDF inserts to B2 of all digits. So now I try to remove all other connective tissue in this area to show you how the two heads of the DDF, or deep digital flexor muscle, I mean here in this case the lateral digital flexor muscle, this one here, and the medial digital flexor muscle, this one here, they move together here in this area and meet at this level to form one tendon, as you can see. I hope it's clear here. So they move together here to form just one tendon, and at this level the tendon of the DDF is also divided and gives, let me just remove this here, and gives another 4 tendons. So here in the plantar view again, we can see how the tendon of the DDF is divided and gives another 4 tendons. Let me just show you like this here. So this is just 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 1 for each digit. And as we are here, I would like to mention one more time, the manica flexoria, which is formed again between the SDF and DDF. So if you remember, we said that the SDF, the superficial digital flexor muscle, inserts to B2, while the deep digital flexor muscle inserts to B3. At the same time, you will find that the tendon of the DDF is deeper, located deeper than the tendon of the SDF, and that's why the tendon of the SDF at this level forms like a specific structure called the manica flexoria. It's like a channel like this here, canal like this, to allow the tendon of the DDF here to move through this area and to move through and to insert to P3. And this structure here formed by the superficial digital flexor muscle is called the manica flexoria. Now I will try to open the manica flexoria and show you exactly what I mean. So if we put it just like this here, follow the 2 tendons at this level exactly. I hope it's clear. So I will open the manica flexoria here. And now we can see how the tendon of the DDF moves inside the tendon of the SDF and inserts to the distal phalanx and flex it like this. Okay, so this is here the manica flexoria. At the same time here, it's also very clear that the tendon of the DDF is also fixed to the bone here by what's called the retina column. The flexor retina column here found in this area, just to keep the tendon, to the bone. Again, so this is the tendon of the DDF. So here finally, like that one of the forelimb under these 2 tendons, in this area we can find also some small muscles here, the interosseous muscles. They are located somehow on the plantar surface of the metatarsal bones, originate from the metatarsal bones proximally here and inserts to the B1 or the proximal phalanx of each digit. So this is the interosseous muscles. The deep digital flexor muscle is innervated by the tibial. So the deep digital flexor muscle is innervated also by the tibial nerve, like the other muscles in the caudal group. Flexion of the deep digital flexor muscle, or DDF, flexion of this muscle will firstly flex the digits like this. So it flexes the digits like this. Let me just take it in my hand here and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So look how the digits are flexed. Okay, but at the same time also, the DDF is also an extensor of the tarsal joint. But mainly, of course, as we said before, I like this movement here. So it's a flexor of the digits. So the dog here says now, bye-bye for now.